Guys, so fieldwork on the final frontier.
With the last question.
Darshan, is that you saying
Yes,
something?
sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, sir.
Any
With the last.
sentence or any paragraph you want me to explain?
No, no, no. I'm just finishing my last question.
Okay, you are able to get over this, right? This passage.
Yes, 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 yes.
Let's see. So please observe, as we have already discussed, yes. Yes means what kind of statements can get yes?
The
If the
correct
statement
statement.
has clear supporting information in the passage, right?
Yes,
Supporting info, or if the statement is a paraphrase, it's just a paraphrase, might be a paraphrased version of any idea given in the passage. No is just like wrong info, wrong information about something given in the passage. Not given, you can't say either yes or no. You can't say either yes or no, must be tagged with not given. Clear? So first statement, the range of languages in the region makes communication difficult for Europeans. Is it yes, no, or not given as per the author?
no.
It's no. Where is the proof line, buddies?
Help.
So the statement is, saying the language becoming difficult for them, right?
Yes, it's become difficult, but learning the pidgin English will make everything
Yes,
easier.
yes. So because different tribes speak such different languages, okay, the same information can be seen in the statement as well. They also speak one universal language, Pidgin English. Once you learn that, and Europeans usually manage this in less than 6 weeks, you can speak directly to the local people. Please observe the tone of this statement, right? So is it giving a sense that 6 months is really long time to learn the language, or is it giving a sense 6 months is very less time to learn the
Less time.
language and they can directly speak to local people? It is giving a sense that 6 months is very less time for them to learn that local language, that particular universal language, and so that they can directly speak with the local people. So it is, if you observe the tone, it is giving a sense that it is not at all difficult. They can easily learn that universal language and they can start communicating with the local people within 6 months. Correct?
Yes.
So the language, or the range of the language, of course different languages can be seen there in the region, makes communication difficult for, no, it is easy for Europeans. They can directly speak with the local people by learning universal language. It doesn't take much time. They can learn within 6 months. It is not at all difficult. So it is not given. There is an information given about it in the passage, but it is, projecting the information, presenting the information wrongly. So it is a wrong info.
Right.
It is not at all difficult for Europeans. So it's a no. Any doubts? Any doubts, buddies?
No.
Yeah. Let's move on. The training of para-ecologists costs less in Papua New Guinea than in Europe. Azim,
Yes,
Bhargav, how about the
yes,
second
yes.
one? Is it yes, no, or not given as per the author?
Yes.
Azim, have you said anything?
Not, no, sir. Not given.
It's not given. Okay. Why? Why it is not given? Can't you find any information like this?
Then in Europe it is not given,
The
sir.
para is not given, sir.
Para is cost less than Papua New Guinea than in Europe. There is no
There is no such
comparison.
comparison,
Yes, sir.
right? And again, there is, training costs. There is no mention of training costs.
Yes, sir.
Is there any information about the training costs, would be lesser in the
No,
Papua New Guinea than in Europe? There won't be any
not
training costs. You
mentioned.
can understand, yes. Let's back to relevant information. Huh. So we have a team of what we call para-ecologists. There are people with we train in scientific methods and pay to work with us. The local people are perfect for this. Okay, the local people are going to be trained and they are generally called para-ecologists, right? So throughout the passage, you never see any information about training costs and also comparison with the, you know, Europe. The same training cost in Europe, the same training cost in Papua New Guinea. There won't be any information about training cost comparison given in the statement. Okay, local people are going to be trained and generally they are called para-ecologists. They only have an intimate knowledge, close knowledge. Intimate means no close knowledge, clear knowledge. Local geography. They also have an extensive knowledge of taxonomy, classification of animals and trees, something of that sort, especially of the trees. So we connect as they are local, they must be fully aware of, their surroundings and the trees and animals, right? We connect the Latin names with their local language names and then explain that we need caterpillars. Okay, they are able to, there is a language problem, no language barrier. So this is the mean they follow to explain what they need, they such caterpillars from the list of the trees, ask them to collect them for us. Okay, this is the work allotted by the author's team to para-ecologists who are actually locals. On one occasion, we were studying tiny lava, the board that had tunnels in leaves. Okay, this is what, right? Uh, they had to study. They might have to study. Okay, I put a fairly, okay, this is what the work given to the local people, para-ecologists to search for, right? I pay a fairly high reward for every, okay, this is going to be, throughout the passage, you haven't found any information about comparison of training cost in two locations, right? Papua New Guinea and Europe. So you can't say yes because there is no information about training cost comparison between Papua New Guinea and Europe. So it must be not given. Any doubt with this, buddies? Okay, right. Reducing the rate of pay offered to specimen collectors can reduce their effectiveness. So the reducing the pay for the para-ecologists who are specimen collectors, the para-ecologists, the locals, right? Reducing the pay for these para-ecologists or locals can reduce the efficiency of their work. So is it yes, no, or not given? Reducing the pay can reduce
Not
the
given.
efficiency of their work. Is it Azim or Darshan?
That's.
Darshan, what's your pick?
Not given. Not given.
Not given. Okay. So where
No.
is the information? There won't be any information basically because you said not given. Yeah, some students might think there might be related information, but it doesn't mean as such. Okay. So there is no relationship defined anywhere in the same paragraph that reducing the pay can reduce the efficiency of their work. Effectiveness means the efficiency of work only there, right? In that statement. Basically, it gives a sense like on one occasion we are studying tiny lava that had, that bore tunnels and leaves. Okay, they're searching for larva. I put fairly high reward for every live insect. Okay, if they bring any live insect, right, they are going to pay high reward. They are going to pay high reward, right? So it has not been given how much high it is, how it is higher or something on that side, but they mention high reward. High reward is going to be given to the specimen collector or the local who are known as para-ecologists, right? If they bring the live insect. So we were expecting that our collectors might earn £5 a day. Okay, with that fairly high reward, right? They won't earn more than £5 a day. They are expecting as such, which is reasonable by Papua New Guinea standard. As per the Papua New Guinea standards, okay, £5 a day is decent amount that anybody can earn, and also as per their budget. Yes, yes. What's the background noise? What's that noise? Syed, I think Syed, are you there? Syed Imtiaz.
Yes, sir.
Is the background noises from your side?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Background noise.
please
Yes, sir.
uh, try to
Okay,
stay
sir.
away from the noise. Nobody, please. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
We are expecting that our collectors might earn £5 a day. Okay, they felt like giving this high reward can make them to earn £5 a day, so not more than £5 a day, and that is absolutely apt to Papua New Guinea standards and also as per their budget, right? But embarrassingly, they found so many live insects. What happens? Obviously, this makes the para-ecologist to earn more than £5 a day, right? That is not at all as per their budget. Okay, what happens if they bring more and more live insects than they expected, and they had to pay more than £5? What happens? So to not to go bankrupt, not to go bankrupt, the author's team might go bankrupt if they won't lower the rate. So as they found too many live insects, they had to pay more money than you know more money than they as which is not then the money which is not as per their budget. So they had to lower down. So they have reduced the particular rate. Because why they have reduced the particular rate? They have brought too many live insects, more live insects than expected. They had to pay more than what is not as per their budget. That definitely make them to go bankrupt. To prevent, okay, not to go bankrupt. So to avoid that bankruptcy, right, they have reduced the rate, they are going to pay for the para-ecologists, specimen collectors. So please observe, there is no such information drawing a relationship between pay and also their efficiency of the work. So is there any information that is actually drawing a connection between pay and also efficiency of their work? No. But the statement is giving a sense reduced pay can reduce the efficiency of workers, efficiency of the specimen collectors or para-ecologists. There is no such relationship drawn in the same paragraph. Even you search anywhere in the passage, you never find anywhere such relationship drawn. So it is also not given. Nowhere mentioned about it. You can't say either yes or no. Okay. Is it clear to you all? Darshan?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next. The fact that some local collaborators are also landowners is an advantage. So these yes no not given questions require accuracy of understanding of relevant information given in the passage. Of course, for the rest of the question types, you may not require this level of understanding. Okay, so although 60 to 70% of understanding can make to get more number of questions correct, for other question types, right? But yes, no, not given, true, false, not given, demands, precise understanding of the information, right, from the passage. That's why these question types are more challenging than any other question type. Next, the fact that some local collaborators are also landowners is an advantage. So the local collaborators mean these specimen collectors are para-ecologists. If the para-ecologists are landowners, that's going to be advantage for author's team, author's research. Is it true? Is it yes, no, or not given?
Yes.
No, sir.
No. Azim, is that you said no?
No, sir. Bargo.
Bhargav. Please observe Bhargav. So the statement is giving the workers, the para-ecologists.
Right.
If they are landowners, that's going to be advantage for them. So please observe the questions following the passage order. Right? This is the first one. Right? The second answer, we have found somewhere here. I mean, based on which we said the statement is not given. And the third, for the third statement, this is the information we made use of, right, to say that is not given. And the fourth question, isn't that the fourth question? Isn't that the fourth statement we are working on? Yes. For fourth one, below the answer of the third question in the passage. Yeah. The collaboration, yes. In the beginning itself, you could see the related information based on which you can say whether it is yes, no, or not given. Yeah. The fourth statement, yes, no, or not given. Yeah. This collaboration with local people helps us research. Collaboration with local people helps our research, helps, gives a meaning like advantages. It opens up possibilities that other don't have. Okay, other researchers can't get the advantage whatever we can get because we have got local people as our collaborators. For instance, we have contacts with the people who owns the forest. Yeah, local people. Right? They cut down for their subsistence, survival. Subsistence means survival. Using traditional slash and burn agricultural methods. Okay, they cut the trees and burn them down, whatever the land they get, on which they continue their agriculture. We always like to shock our fellow biologists at conferences by describing how we are cutting down tropical forests so that we can survey. Okay, for their research, uh, they're actually working along with the local people who are actually cutting down the trees. That might, right, surprise the fellow biologists. Why, how it can shock fellow biologists? Because they are actually working with the author's team is working with the people who are cutting down trees, right? As ecologists and biologists, they should not, you know, support the people who are cutting down, who are causing, deforestation. But for their research, they had to work with the people who are cutting down. That definitely make a fellow biologist to feel surprised or shocked, right? We always like to shock our fellow biologists at conferences by describing how we are cutting down tropical forests so that we can survey insects from the canopy. But that's what exactly we are doing. So although it shocks fellow biologists, that's the truth we are actually doing. That's the true stuff what we are engaged with. When local people were clearing their part of the forest, we worked with them, yes. They haven't actually stopped. They haven't even prevented. For their research, they are collaborating with the local people who are cutting down the trees, for their agricultural purposes. Once they're cutting down the trees, whatever the place they get is going to be owned by them, and they can continue their agriculture on that land, right? We work with them, slowly taking forest apart, collecting caterpillars, ants, and everything. So the people who are cutting down the trees for their agricultural purposes are their collaborators, and this author's team work with them. Okay. So as per the statement, local collaborators are going to be advantageous for their research. Yes. Who owns their land? Yes. They are owning their land by cutting down the trees and they continue their agriculture. Owns the forest. Is it clear? It's an advantage because collaboration with that local people is actually helping their research and opening up the possibilities that other researchers don't have, and they are the owners. Okay. So please observe the fact that local collaborators and also landowners is an advantage. Of course, some local collaborators are actually landowners who engage in slash and burn agricultural practices. It has become an advantage for them, right? So what can you say about this statement? Can I say no? Bhargav?
No, sir. Yes, it will be
Yeah, it must
advantageous.
be. Advantage is an adjective here, but the verb given
Given
in the related text giving same sense helps. Right? Next. The researchers try to discourage the use of destructive agricultural practices. Have they tried to discourage?
No.
No.
They actually worked with them. They haven't. As long as you can say they haven't tried to discourage, you can go with. You can say as per the passage information. They haven't
discouraged.
You can say, right? They haven't discouraged. Leave about whether they encourage them to do. Okay. So, for example, if the statement has been given, the researchers try to encourage the use of destructive agriculture practices. What could be the result? I mean, how do I have to tag the statement like researchers encouraged the use of destructive agricultural practices? Guys. Guys, have they really encouraged anywhere? They just haven't stopped them. That's it. That gives a sense, haven't tried to discourage. If the statement gives the researchers try to encourage the use of destructive agricultural practices, you can't say anything about it because no information about the encouraging. Have you got my point? Azim?
Yes, sir.
Darshan, have you got my point?
Yes, sir.
If the statement has been given, the researchers try to encourage the use of destructive agricultural practices. How do I have to tag that statement, Darshan?
But they have like
They worked with
they
them. They haven't
yeah,
tried to discourage. Doesn't mean they encourage.
and also they
It's
say
not
this is
given.
what we do.
Please observe, buddy, if the statement has been given like the researchers try to encourage the use of destructive agricultural practices, has not been given anywhere. What we know is they haven't discouraged, they worked with them. That's it. Okay. As long as you can say they haven't tried to discourage, you can say it is no. But if the statement has been given, they encouraged, that's not given. Because no information about whether they encourage or not. Based on the information, can you say they encourage them? Darshan.
No.
Based on the information, it doesn't mean they encouraged. Please observe.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Is there any information they encourage to do so? No. As a part of their research, they collaborated with them. It doesn't mean they encouraged to do. Okay. But the statement is they try to discourage. Of course, we don't know whether they encourage or not, but we can clearly know they haven't discouraged them. Correct? So you can go with no for this statement. No need to get confused. So straight. Is it clear to you all? All Darshan, Azim, Bhargav.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it's going to be not given. Okay, if you can't say they haven't tried to encourage them, how can you say, they haven't tried to discourage? Based on the information, you can clearly say they haven't discouraged, but you can't say they try to encourage. So, but the statement is given, the research tried to discourage. No, you can clearly say they haven't tried to discourage. You need not to know the researchers try to encourage. Okay, to say they haven't tried to discourage. Okay, yeah, it's no. Please observe. To say no, we just want this level of information. That's enough to say no. Okay, right. Next, sixth one. There is a tendency for scientists to underestimate the diversity of species in existence in the world. Is it yes, no, or not given? Guys, the sixth one. For the sixth one, there is a tendency for scientists to underestimate the number of species or the diversity of species in the world, in existence in the world. What's your say for this sixth one? Guys, Azim, Bhargav.
Yes, sir. Statement is correct.
What? Voice is too low.
Last para they given the huge diversity tendency to get the species in there.
Okay. Based on which? What's your answer?
Yes.
Okay. A tendency to underestimate. Let's see. Darshan, how about you? What's your answer?
I couldn't complete it, sir. The
Buddy?
last question. I couldn't complete it within the given time. The last. Hello.
Okay. Okay, let's understand the last paragraph. We have devised a 3D structure. Devise means envision, plan, you know. We have devised a 3D structure of insects and plants in the forest. Okay, they had come up with a kind of plan. Our inventor means a list of things or something, right? Our list came up with about 95 insect species feeding on 200 species of tree. Okay, there are 200 types of trees and 9500 types of species or insects they're actually searching for. They do it in 50,000 different ways. And if 50,000 different ways means, so they may find different insects on different species. The possibility of finding 9500 insect species on 200 types of trees, can be in 50,000 different ways. Okay. One species on one tree. If the same species on different tree might make you to feel a different species. Have you got my point, buddies? Why he has mentioned 50,000 different ways? The same species may seem differently on the different tree, right? So even for us ecologists, this is mind-boggling complexity. Okay, 9,500 species and 200 types of trees. For even for ecologists, it is a complex task. However, ecologists also tend to get overexcited by huge diversity. If they overexcite, do they underestimate or overestimate? Guys, the statement in the questionnaire gives a sense that they underestimate. They have a tendency to underestimate. But here it giving a sense they tend to get overexcited by the huge diversity and estimate, extrapolate means estimate it to unrealistic numbers. What does this mean? If they overexcited, do they overestimate or underestimate?
Overestimate.
Overestimate. It's not underestimate. So if they overestimate means they estimate it to unrealistic number. Okay, they present numbers more than actual numbers in that forest because they are overexcited. They are going to present a bigger number than it is actually present in the forest. In case of, for the species, for the insects. So they overestimate and estimate it to unrealistic numbers of species for entire planet. So previous estimates put the number insects worldwide is 30 million. This is overexcited, bloated number, overexcited number, unrealistic number. Okay, previous estimates, previous ecologist estimation. We put it 6 million. Yes, they have reduced it. Okay, so generally, what is the tendency for the ecologists? They overestimate. No, it's not. They underestimate. It is so clear. We found that a tree species had about the same number of insect species feeding on it, right? Whether it grows in Papua New Guinea and Europe, tropical forests, so rich in insects only because they have so many species. Okay. Based on this information, basically ecologists have a tendency to overestimate the numbers of species. Okay, that's why they put insect species worldwide at 30 million. Okay, the authors team reduced that number to 6 million. So this proves that they have a tendency to overexcite and overestimate the numbers. But the statement is giving underestimate, so it is a big no. Okay, any doubts, guys?
No, sir.
Right, clear to you all?
Yes, sir.
So if you have underlined the keywords from the passage, that would definitely reduce the time you work on each question so that you can instantly back to relevant information and understand and handle it, right? So the strategy is not to directly attack the passage, but you have to underline the keywords from all the questionnaires. You have to read through the questions first and underline the keywords from the question, and then back to the passage, underline the keywords, and then return to the questionnaires for answers. Okay, to write the answers. Okay, so you should have understood the significance of understanding accurately, understanding the relevant information accurately from the passage, right? So this is only the question type require, accuracy of understanding. This is understanding of relevant information from the passage. That's why we always say these questions are challenging. The advantageous thing is somehow all these questions are following passage order. Okay, so sometimes in case of yes, no, not given or true, false, not given, all the statements may not follow passage order. Out of 6, at least 1 or 2 might be given randomly, may not follow the order, right? That makes the questionnaire even more difficult, right?